Okay, guys, welcome back. Welcome if you are new here. So, today we're going to be talking about two different stories that I saw here this past week on TikTok. And I feel like both stories have people talking, a lot of opinions on it. So, I'm curious what you think about these. And the reason I'm doing two different stories today is because both are kind of shorter and they wouldn't work for a single video. So, we're going to get two for the price of one today. So, first, we will be talking about Avery Woods and how she reached out to a commenter's college saying that the woman had been harassing her. When, unless if we don't know the whole story, I will say I'm pretty surprised that this was her breaking point. And then the next story we're going to be talking about is a really beloved influencer, and she went to TikTok with her wedding plans. Her and her fiance were talking about what they plan on doing to kind of make their wedding a little different, a little more unique. And even though she is, I would say, pretty beloved in the influencer space, pretty much across the board, all of her comments were like, girl, no, this is not it. Delete this. No. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so first, let's talk about the Avery Woods situation. If you're not familiar with who she is, I'll give you a quick little breakdown. She is one of those influencers who is going to be on the Secret Lives of Mormon. Well, it's a long title. The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Orange County. Even though she isn't Mormon and also has said some very, very vulgar and disrespectful comments that she's been called out for regarding religion. So yeah, I don't know how the casting decision went with that, why they picked Avery for their show. I don't know why they picked a lot of the women for that show because it's wives, Mormon wives. A lot of them are not Mormon. I believe one or maybe even two of them are not even married. So I don't know how that casting decision went. But anyway, Avery started out as a nurse before eventually leaving that career to become a full-time influencer, and I believe she wasn't actually a nurse for all that long, before breaking into the influencer space full-time. And at this point, I would say she has become one of the biggest examples of an out-of-touch influencer online. I feel like she's one of those influencers too who has just as many people who love her as people who can't stand her, if not more, quite frankly. And just this past week, she posted a video on her Instagram and I think TikTok, and it said, why are you going on reality shows? Lots of opinions about a show that you haven't even watched yet. And she's flipping off the camera. So she's already kind of going into it with a bit of an attitude because a lot of people had a lot of opinions about Avery Woods being casted on a show about Mormons when she is not a Mormon. And basically, all the comments that I was seeing were saying just that. Like, it's not about you necessarily, it's about the fact that you're not Mormon, and that's in the title of the show. But then there was a comment that really struck a nerve with Avery, apparently. And again, I don't know what I'm missing. I don't know what I'm missing. Maybe there's more context to this. But with what we know, this was the comment, and someone said, guys, she had to pay for that house somehow. That was it. And that comment basically started a war between Avery and this woman, started by Avery, because again, the comment was pretty innocent, right? I mean, out of all the stuff I've seen about Avery, I think that's not bad. I mean, not to mention a lot of people do take jobs to pay for their homes, for their bills. That's a big reason that people work. So it's not out of the realm of possibilities that maybe she took the job to help pay for her lifestyle. Again, am I missing something? Are we all missing something? To me, it just did not seem like a malicious comment enough so to prompt Avery to do what she did next. So first she posted a picture of the girl. She must have went to her Instagram, took a screenshot, and she posted a picture and it said, "Why are the cutest girls always the meanest? Anyways, you're beautiful. Hope you have a better day." And then the woman responded to that story and she said, didn't go the way you were expecting, did it? Thanks for the 20 plus new followers and supporters. And Avery continued a little back and forth and she said, you need help blocking you so you don't have to keep coming back to harass me, wishing you nothing but healing and love. I think Avery might need a definition of harassment 'cause again, I don't get it. I don't understand why this has gotten, as crazy as it has, but she definitely was not being super sincere, was saying wishing you nothing but what'd she say? Yeah, healing and love, because she said, "Oh, just to let you know, I messaged your university and I said this." Uh, yeah, apparently Avery went digging and saw that this woman went to school and she reached out to that school and said, I want to reach out to let you know that one of your students has been publicly and privately harassing me on her social media pages and that she is sure that the college wouldn't want somebody who is a cyber bullier attending their school. Again, if saying someone took a job to pay for their house is cyberbullying, I'm at a loss. It's super bizarre to me that Avery went this far with it, with that comment, out of all the comments that she gets. I feel like she has kind of tried to portray herself as this unbothered queen who doesn't read her comments, but this kind of shows that she is anything but that. And it kind of brings up another discussion I saw people talking about, like, is she really cut out for reality TV? Because if she's this upset over such a non-issue, how is she going to handle being on reality TV? With her social media, she can kind of control, the narrative about her to a degree. She can block comments, she can block people. She can kind of create her own narrative however she wants. But when you go on a TV show, you don't really have that creative decision anymore. You're signing up and you can't help how you're portrayed and you can't help how the audience portrays you. Not to mention she's going to be kind of introduced to a much larger audience than what she already has. I kind of feel like with this show, with everything I've been seeing, all the hype generating around it, there are a lot of women on that show that probably shouldn't be on there because they're not Mormon, they're not some of them aren't married. There's a lot of reasons why it's just a really strange cast given the title. I think if they would have titled it something like Secret Lives of Influencer Wives, that would be a different story, but given the Mormon aspect of the show, it doesn't make any sense, but I will say, out of everyone who has been casted on this season, it seems like people are the most upset about Avery. So much so that there has been a petition and it's kind of just basically summarizing all of the reasons that she should not be on the show. So I'm kind of curious how this all shakes out. Something tells me that the producers of this show, they don't care. They're probably excited to see so much, being talked about online with her because they know it's going to generate more buzz and, bring more people to the show, help the views, help the ratings. They don't really care if it's good or bad, negative. They don't care because as long as the ratings are up, that's really all that matters. Okay, so this next story we're going to talk about is a post I saw a few days ago on I think Instagram or TikTok, I don't know, and it's from Spencer Barbosa. So Spencer is getting married soon and she took to her social media with her fiance to talk about their wedding plans. And when I saw this video, she's not even someone that I really know much about, but when I saw this video pop up, I had some strong opinions on it and I didn't really think that anyone else is gonna feel that way because she is people really seem to like her a lot, and just to preface, I kinda already talked about this, it's not that I dislike Spencer or I'm sending any hate her way, I actually don't really follow her content at all, but from what I've seen of her content, it seems actually pretty positive in the influencer space, loving yourself as is, not feeling the need to fit the standard things that we see on social media. So I would say out of the influencers that I've seen at least, she does seem to have a pretty good head on her shoulders and a good message for younger viewers especially. So again, no hate, but when I saw this video, I kind of had to roll my eyes a bit because we talk a lot on here about out of touch influencers. That's a big discussion lately. And this is exactly what we're talking about. So I'm going to show you the video.
We are not having a wedding.
Well, kind of.
Instead, we are planning the first ever influencer style wedding brand trip.
And we'll be spam posting like crazy.
We went back and forth on whether we wanted to elope, have a traditional wedding, have a destination wedding, and then it hit us. Let's just throw a brand trip.
And the brand is us.
Think tripping with Tart, but we're tripping down the aisle. And instead of influencers attending, it's literally our parents and our siblings. We booked a huge 20-person villa that literally looks like it's on Love Island. And we're going to a beach destination, but we won't tell you where yet. We are going to have a fully planned itinerary. The rooms will be decorated and filled with gifting. Every night we'll have a different theme and dress code. The fridge will be fully stocked and the meals are going to be iconic. And we're going to be posting the entire thing. This is pretty much going to be the most iconic family vacation ever, and it's going to be so nice for our families to get really close. And hi, if there are any brands that want to get involved, or if you guys have any ideas, please let me know down below. Let's get married!
And like I said, the comments were not having it, even though keep in mind, these are her fans that are saying this. People are saying, "Girl, I love you, but what?" Basically, you just want someone else to pay for your wedding. Why are you calling your wedding a brand trip? Wait, delete this. I would think you'd be the last person to do this. And that's kind of what the little I know about her. I was surprised too. And then somebody said, "This sounds like Michaela's wedding. I wonder who will sponsor this wedding." I don't know who they're referring to, but and Spencer said, "God forbid a girl wants to gift her family some cool things in the room. We paid for everything else." I thought this was satire. I kind of thought it was too at first before I realized it wasn't. And somebody said, "It just feels tacky." And she said, "Luckily, it's our wedding." So somebody on TikTok actually made a reaction video to this. Spencer responded to it in the comments section. I agree with this commenter's opinions. So I'm going to show you that and then I will read you what Spencer said.
And this is no shade to Spencer. I really appreciate her platform and what she does on the internet, but I genuinely couldn't tell if this was satire at first. Basically, to me, what she's describing is actually just a destination wedding, albeit a very planned out destination wedding with themes and gift bags and all these things, but a destination wedding nonetheless. But then where it gets a little bit more dystopian to me is when she says,
If there are any brands that want to get involved, or if you guys have any ideas, please let me know down below.
as a girl who is also engaged right now and does social media for a living, I can understand how expensive weddings are and how hard it can be to make real money on social media. I just don't want this to start being normalized. I think the concept of us being in a place where weddings are so expensive that we're potentially having to have brands sponsor our weddings, I fear this might be the next stage. God, I just don't know that I'm ready for that. I don't enjoy that that's where we're at as a society.
Okay, so Spencer, like I said, she did reply to it. She said, "I fear maybe we didn't explain enough, but we already paid for the whole thing without any sponsors. The brand is us. We just want to spoil our families and give them influencer style brand trips with all expenses paid. We aren't looking for our wedding to be paid for, just some skincare in the room to gift our families. Our families are so excited, trust me." This whole thing kind of reminded me of there was I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, there was an influencer teacher named Noelle Chaney, I think. Noelle, I believe that's her name. And she kind of did the same thing, but it was with her bachelorette trip. She wanted, brands to send things so that she could spoil her friends. And people absolutely dragged her for it. And I kind of get why.
Why are you getting online begging for stuff, thinking you're entitled to free stuff because you have followers? Stop.
I am planning my bachelorette weekend. It's coming up in a couple months and I'm so freaking excited. And I'm not gonna tell all y'all exactly where I'm going yet, but I will say we are going to the beach because I love the beach. And I'm working on putting some gifts together for all of my guests, my best friends in the world that are so graciously coming on this trip with me and spending money to be with me. And the way I view this trip is, yes, it's my bachelorette, but like, I view it more as like I'm thanking my friends for walking into my life.
You guys, I'm sorry. I don't know if I'll ever get over the fact that someone who has this many followers is getting on here and begging for free stuff. She can pay for it her damn self. Okay? This is insane. And I have to also say, I have never ever seen an influencer do this. If this is a thank you to your friends for spending money in your wedding, which I'm sure is costing them an arm and a leg, why is it up to the brands to have to thank them for you and give you free stuff to give to them? How about you thank them with your money? Okay? Are we insane?
And
Because let's be honest, who does not want to spoil their friends, their family, people in their lives, their pets? Who doesn't want to do that? Everyone has someone in their life that they would like to spoil. It's just that most of us, if we want to do that, we have to pay for it ourselves. So when influencers start asking for free stuff under the guise of, "It's just to spoil my friends, it's just to spoil my family," it kind of, at least to me, comes across as really out of touch And I do get that she paid for the wedding herself, and it's just that she wants skincare and gifts and whatnot, but it just seems strange to ask for and do this video about it. It just, I don't know, it doesn't sit well with me, and apparently not even with her devoted fans. And also turning your wedding into a sponsored thing, like branded content, wanting parts of it sponsored, wanting to film every second of it, like she said, it kind of, to me at least, it kind of makes it feel like the actual purpose of a wedding and marriage starts to get lost along the way. It kind of starts to feel like more thought, more emphasis, and just overall more importance is being placed on the day, the event, than the actual commitment that is being made that day. And I'm not saying that people, they shouldn't have fun at their wedding and they shouldn't plan their dream wedding. I'm not saying that. But I have always believed that way more thought should go into the marriage than the wedding. And personally, I just don't think that social media should factor into your wedding day whatsoever. Call me old fashioned, but that's just how I see it. But I am curious how you see it, what you think about both of the things that we talked about today. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I think I'm actually going to be posting this on Saturday, tomorrow. I typically post during the week, but I guess a little bonus video for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it and I hope you guys have a great weekend. I will see you guys next time. Bye.